Welcome back to another video, guys. This one's going to be a banger. Little hint for you. I'm going to be flying out tomorrow to go see our boy Eddie Maalouf in Atlanta at the BAD headquarters, and I'm going to spend the next few days with him, and I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride. Plan for this trip, okay? Primarily hang out with my boy. However, we're gonna be shooting a lot of content, and on top of that, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The whole reason I'm going to this trip is to try Scoville's hot chicken. It's the only reason. I'm literally flying to Atlanta to try a chicken sandwich because Eddie's been teasing me for way too long with these burgers, and it's time. So that's the real reason I'm going on this trip. And if I happen to document behind the scenes of the Eddie Maalouf in his domain of the bad marketing, then so be it. But the real purpose of this trip is a chicken sandwich. Or I'm in Canada. We call it a chicken burger here, guys. I don't know. You guys in the United States calling it a chicken sandwich. I don't know what that's about. We're going to go have a chicken burger with Eddie, which I'm looking forward to. But my goal is to kind of share with you guys a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes because not a lot of you guys get to see what actually happens in the offices at BAD. And it's been a minute since I've been there myself. So I'm looking forward to going and seeing everybody. And I'm going to bring you guys with me. So before any trip, you know what you got to do? You got to go get a fade. So I got that skin fade prep, going to be in the studio. Got it looking sharp. I don't know what the heck I'm doing with my hair. I'm growing it out a little bit here. We're going to get some Peaky Blinder action going on, I think. So went and got a haircut. Got some last minute clothes that I needed. Packing right now. And then literally first thing tomorrow, 5 a.m. until around 3 p.m. I'm going to be on calls. Jump in an Uber to the ferry, and then I take a ferry and then take 2 flights, and I'll be in Atlanta on Wednesday morning at like 7 a.m. EST. So bit of a busy time period over the next couple days. So I'm going to bring you guys along for as much as I can of it. That's not going to be super boring. And then update you guys kind of through different legs of the trip. Got some feedback from the last video that I talked so much, which I think was good because the video was all about the Hormozy trip, but I'm going to do my very best to give you guys way more B-roll and some more context of like what's going on behind the scenes. I really want to keep this as raw as possible. So conversations I have with Eddie, people that I see ongoing throughout the trip. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to slam some water, get back to packing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I've never really told this story before, but I worked at BAD Marketing with Eddie Maalouf for the last 3.5-ish years, helping him build the sales system that BAD Marketing has today. This sales system is what's turned into agency closers, and everything that we built for our system is for over 100 plus agencies at this point, just in the last 12 months. Now, I think this is a really interesting story that not a lot of people know. So I'm going to share it, I think, throughout this journey of getting to Atlanta, because I think it's really fitting for this YouTube video. But I'm going to start by saying this. So when I joined BAD Marketing, I already had an e-commerce brand that was doing well. Not crazy, but it was doing well. I also had an agency that I was running for local service businesses, running ads and managing social media. So those 2 businesses were running, and I was basically full-time focused on those 2 businesses. And then I saw a podcast with Eddie and another agency owner, and Eddie mentioned that he was needing a closer. And so I just had this gut feeling that it had to be me. And I took a sacrifice, and I actually shut down the AECOM agency, the e-com brand, and shortly after that, the agency, to go all in to work with Eddie Maalouf at BAD Marketing. And this is why. There was this really unique moment in time back in the day when it was for media, where Eddie was still heavily involved in the sales system. There was no sales director. There was no real closer in place. It was mainly Eddie and one other person taking calls. And I saw this amazing opportunity where I got to go and work close one-on-one with Eddie on a daily basis. And those type of opportunities do not come often. And so I shut down both my businesses and I went all in to work at BAD Marketing. And safe to say it's paid off. And so basically what my goal was just at the very beginning was, how do I become friends with Eddie and make him so much freaking money that eventually when I launch Agency Closers, which was the plan, that he would join as a business partner. That was kind of my whole vision. Eddie, if you're watching this, you probably knew that because you see everything, but that was my goal from day one. I want to make this guy as much money as humanly possible, and then one day, if I make one ask, it's going to be to join Agency Closers, and here we are today. I have a serious problem, genuinely. I've just finished packing. The only clothes that I own are Built shirts and Lululemon. It's literally everything that I own. Even the shoes, Lululemon. Hoodies, Lululemon. Shirts, all Built. Pants, Lululemon. I have a serious problem. All right, made it to the airport, headed to catch my first flight. Just got off the boat. Gonna be flying to Calgary and then Calgary to Atlanta. So here we go. And just like that, the first flight has been delayed. So I'm gonna be chilling for the next 2 hours. Hopefully my first flight actually takes off, but this is just seems to happen every single time I travel, which is great. So I've got 2 hours to kill, gonna get some dinner, and then we're gonna take off to Atlanta and hopefully catch we're gonna take off to Calgary and hopefully catch our Atlanta flight. So I'll keep you guys posted. I don't know why they put this plastic on it. I get the hype of these things. Not gonna lie, they're sick. All right, heading into midnight. We are now in Calgary and just slammed some chicken strips. And now we are headed to our next flight to Atlanta, which arrives at 6:50 a.m. EST. And that's so why did I burn down an e-com brand and an agency to go work for somebody else? I'm sure some of you guys are thinking about that as I started telling the story about why I joined bad marketing. And this is my thought process. If I sacrificed money now for 2 years, maybe 3 years, to build insane amounts of skill, have the cheat code of how to scale an agency from the inside out with some of the biggest and best names in the space, and on top of that, build a crazy network that I never would have been able to on my own, I think that'd be a worthy sacrifice. And so that's exactly what I did. I sacrificed my own businesses to go and work for somebody else over the last 3 years. And in return, I have access to the craziest of network. Just bad marketing alone, there's over 200 insane marketers that I now have access to and are friends with. That in itself is crazy because they're all going to go on to be very successful entrepreneurs. Not to mention the relationship that I've built with Eddie and the friendship I've built with Eddie, which has turned into a business partnership, and all of his network that I now could have access to if I ever needed to, right? That's just how relationships work. And so my mindset was, let's sacrifice money on the front end so that I can gain crazy amounts of skill and build an amazing network long term. And in my opinion, it paid off tenfold. And I think a lot of you guys who have small agencies should be thinking this way. Instead of maybe making 10, 20K a month by yourself, maybe go get a job, sacrifice money for a year, gain all the SOPs, all the acquisition sources, build tremendous amounts of relationships. And then when you go back out to do it again, you have the recipe for success to be able to scale so much more aggressively. And so for me, it was those things, but then I also left bad, which I'm going to get to, with a partnership with Eddie Maalouf in Agency Closers. And so that's a whole other story that I'm going to get into later in this video. But that's the main reason why I chose to sacrifice my own e-commerce brands, my own agency, to go all in working for somebody else. All right, so officially made it to the BAD headquarters. Super excited to be here. Got here nice and early, so there's literally basically nobody here. There's one person here. So it's nice to kind of get settled in, and then everybody's gonna be arriving in the next 15 minutes. So it'll be nice to see everybody. And then we'll kind of jump right into things. So, man, it is way nicer here than it is back at home. It's nice and warm, it's sunny, it's fresh. Definitely excited to be here, and we'll see where the day goes. All right, good morning. Welcome to Atlanta, day 2. Currently at the hotel, getting ready to go head back to the office. So I filmed a bunch of B-roll. I tried to anyways yesterday. As per usual, whenever I go on these trips, I like to actually enjoy and be present with people that I'm with that I haven't seen in a while. And there's a bunch of people from BAD that I got to meet in person that were there. So I got to just kind of enjoy, hang out. Basically all we did yesterday, I got to the office around 9 a.m. and sat and worked while Eddie and the info team at BAD were building a new webinar for a client. So that was fun to kind of hang out with them. And then we all went out to a lunch spot to smoke some hookah and have some awesome lunch and continue to work. Eddie, myself, and the director of info mapped out those, which was great. We kind of just jammed on a bunch of angles and hooks that we'll potentially be using moving forward here on the AC side. And then after that, we went over to Scoville's Hot Chicken, which I'm sure you guys saw in some of these clips. And for those of you guys who don't know, Eddie Maalouf owns 3 or 4 Scoville Hot Chicken restaurants. That's his baby right now, and my goodness, I'm not just saying this, the best hot chicken sandwich I have ever had in my entire life. Hands down, anybody who knows me knows that I love my chicken sandwiches, and let me tell you, these are absolutely insane. Then Eddie continued to destroy me with their extra hot chicken strips, and yeah, that was a bit of a disaster, but had a lot of fun. Then Eddie gave me the keys to his Urus and drove around for the rest of the evening, and then came back to the hotel. So I am about to hop back in the Urus, which is a ton of fun, and we're gonna head back to the office for 9 a.m. Today is gonna be a bit more of a shooting day for me and Eddie. So today we got planned, Eddie's got a podcast first thing in the morning he's got to do. Right after that, we're going to continue to finish the VSL, shoot the VSL, and then we're going to shoot a podcast together. And then we're going to kind of go from there and see where the day takes us. So going to get some more content ideally at the office this morning. I'll bring you guys along, show you guys the bad headquarters. Also, I bought these AirPod Maxes at the airport, and I'm not like super impressed with them, I'm not going to lie. The sound quality is incredible, and the like noise canceling is insane, but the quality when actually like talking on a call is not good. Like the people on the Google call or the Zoom meet hear everything going on around me. A little bit annoying for the price of those headphones, but you know what? They sound good. All right, so gonna head out to the office. Got to caffeinate. For those of you guys who know how this works, got to caffeinate first. So I'm gonna go head over to Starbucks and then try to make it for 9 a.m. because I've got a meeting that I got to take first thing. The whip this morning, not gonna lie, this thing has been like way more than fun to drive. This is one of Eddie's many cars, but definitely one of my favorites. So we're gonna throw the gear in. This interior is just absolutely sick too. One thing I love about Eddie is he loves his cars, and he's had his Lambo for a long time. He's had this for quite a while, and he's had his Ferrari for quite a while, and like to this day whenever I'm with him, he's like giddy about getting in his cars, and I absolutely love that, and I totally get it. These things are way too much fun, and I totally get the appeal of why people love their supercars so much. Not gonna lie, driving this thing around has made me want one so bad. So I think the Corvette goal, which is definitely, I need to get the Corvette, but when I do, this is going to come right after, I think. This just is necessary. I probably should just get a Lamborghini instead, I think. That's probably not a Urus, but my goodness, this thing's sick. I don't know the exact year of this Urus, but it's a ton of fun, but it's barely one of the older models. And still, this thing is a blast to drive and has crazy amounts of power. I need to just do this for the gram, guys, like at least one time, but like, my name's Kurtis. I have a company called Agency Closers. I'm just kidding. I've only been in Atlanta like one time, which was for Agency Founders 2 years ago. So I have no idea where I'm going. So I'm gonna throw out some Google Maps. You guys use Apple Maps or whatever you call it. This sucks. You got to use Google Maps. All right, we're gonna head to Starbucks, which is 3 minutes away, which is perfect. Gonna grab a coffee, and then we're gonna head to the office now. Eddie is I don't think people realize how there's nowhere to put a phone for this car. If I want to have my GPS going, there's nowhere to put it. How inconvenient is that? Eddie has got like so many different things going on, and it's always fun to watch him operate. But today, for context, just you guys have an idea of what this guy's life looks like. So hit the gym this morning, heading to the office for 9 a.m. He's got a podcast first thing in the morning. Then we're going to be working on a VSL. Then he's got a podcast with me. And then he's got another podcast. So it can be a full day. But that's just like extracurriculars that he does on top of running his like several businesses. Yeah, you need to be in sport. Oh, I am not going to lie, guys. I drive a Toyota Yaris. I'm not going to lie. I've never been like super into cars until the last like year or so, and now I really want one. Last couple of years, and now it's like I'm definitely going to be getting a car. But I drive a Toyota Yaris because I've had one forever, and the thing will never die, and they're super efficient, and they're great. So it's been fun, joking a little bit this week. I've gone from driving a Toyota Yaris to a Lamborghini Urus this week, which is just hilarious. And every single time I get in this thing, I just want to give her every single time you're in this thing. Just can't help it. Caffeination acquired. I went with a latte this morning because, I'm feeling like, as Kaya would say, I'm feeling like that bitch. All right, well, I've got the worst news that I have had in a while. I looked at the GPS, and I'm only like 5 minutes from the office, which is just devastating because I don't want to keep driving this thing around. So Eddie, I'm going to take the long way to the office. Sorry, brother. So I was shooting that last clip. Eddie definitely just drove by in his blue Lamborghini, which I find hilarious. You could hear it coming from like a mile away. One thing I will give the bad marketing team is I don't know if there's many marketing agencies that can compete with Eddie's lineup of cars that he always has in front of his office. Like, I can see his M5, his Lamborghini's here, this Lamborghini's here. He's got team members that drive insane Porsches and sick BMWs. Yeah, like, I'm going to show you this whip and set this lineup in a second here of cars. This just feels right. I'm now the new CEO of Bad Marketing. Sorry, Eddie. I'll take it from here. So to continue on this conversation about working at Bad and my experience and kind of continue on this story. So one of the main things that I've taken away and will forever be grateful for is the friendships that I've built while working at Bad Marketing. I've already talked a little bit about the networking side of things and the value of sacrificing working in your own business to get a job and gain experience, but then also build relationships and network and all that kind of stuff. And I think a lot of people, when I say network, automatically assume like the clients from Bad Marketing, which is a whole other conversation. But I primarily think that the coworkers that you build friendships with are the most valuable part of getting a job at a place like Bad Marketing. And I think that alone is worth the sacrifice of shutting down your business and going to work for somebody else, especially when it's somebody like an Eddie Maalouf. Now, I'll give you an example of this. I've made a video about this in the past, but this concept of the PayPal mafia. When PayPal, the company PayPal was originally built, there's been, I think it's something crazy, like 30 billionaires that have come out of that company that were all coworkers together at PayPal. If you search up PayPal mafia, you'll see what I mean. I genuinely feel like there is a bad marketing mafia that is coming from this organization, and it's already happening. For context, some of my coworkers that joined at the same time as me at Bad Marketing 3 years ago have now since left and are media buyers for the biggest names in the info and education space. Like the people that you're thinking of right now, they're running their ads. And they started as media buyers at Bad Marketing. I've got friends that have since left that started their own agencies now that work with some of the biggest names in the industry in the e-com space. Some of my coworkers who've left who've started their own e-com brands that are scaling and making $10,000 a day in e-com, whatever it might be. And it's so cool because now in the industry that I'm in, or in agency closers and the clients that I work with, if I ever need anything, I can have a text message to a friend really quickly, and I can get connected with some of the biggest names in the space. That alone, in my opinion, is the most valuable part of going to work at an organization like Bad Marketing. Give us a rundown. What's the plan for the day?
Okay, so we're setting up for the podcast shoot right now. Getting all the cameras together. The lighting's gonna have to go a little bit here to the middle. You guys yap for maybe 45 to an hour. Buffer time, 30 minutes, so I can just change up the shoot so that Kurtis or Eddie, one of y'all, will do the VSL. And then I'll have a nice little teleprompter here so that they can pretend like they're just ripping it off the bat, but they're just kind of reading off teleprompter.
Beauty.
Are you okay? Everything good?
Welcome back to the 4 Media Podcast.
Damn, bro. That hits. Those are OG days.
Welcome back to the Bad Marketing Podcast. I got a pretty unique and special guest here today, Mr. Kurtanderton. Is that correct? Right? I always fuck your last name.
You nailed it.
up,
You
bro.
didn't even say Anderson that time.
Yeah, I know. I fuck it up a lot. It's okay. It was saved wrong on my phone for a while. But Kurtis was actually our top closer here at Bad Marketing for quite some time, for a few years. He came in. He actually was trash at sales, for what it's worth. I can confirm that by his numbers. And he left here pretty fucking incredible, to the point that he actually took the system that we built at Bad Marketing that took us from 6 to 7 figures a month and, reframed it a certain way that works for all agencies. And then now he runs agency closers, where he actually coaches agencies one-on-one to increase their close rate. And it's fucking savage because, this is what we did at Bad Marketing. A lot of people don't know we actually had less leads than a lot of other agencies. But we just did a lot better working those leads, finding the qualified ones, and getting them to spend more money with us, and then providing a good service, obviously. So Kurtis was a big part of that. Now he coaches other agencies. I see the success he has. It's fucking incredible. So if you're an agency owner, definitely connect with him on Instagram, etc. But this podcast is going to be a little bit different than we normally do, it seems. Kurtis has proposed. What have you proposed, Kurtis?
We're going to flip the switch. I want to ask you some questions today.
Okay, it's interesting. So Kurtis actually probably was one of the closest people from a directly working with me standpoint over the time he was here. So he claims he's going to bring some questions to the table that other people wouldn't be asking or wouldn't be comfortable asking or don't have the context for or whatever. And then, we're going to take it from here and see. Hopefully, I think this is going to be a pretty fucking unique, cool episode for you guys. So get a little inside look on whatever's inside my brain based on what Kurtis is going to ask here. So
I'm going to leave it right there as a bit of a teaser for you guys. If you guys want to see this podcast, you got to go check out the Bad Marketing Podcast on YouTube or on Eddie's channel, one of the two. I got to host the Bad Marketing Podcast for this episode and got to go into a bunch of fun conversations with Eddie about topics that normally he would not discuss, which I'm excited for you guys to listen to and get to experience. I have a bit of a unique relationship with Eddie because I was running the sales side of things for a long time with him as the company's going through some major growth spurts. And so I got to be a fly on the wall for some of these big wins and these really hard challenges that he got to face. And so I got to talk a bit about that today, or not today, but in this podcast. An example of that is the day his brother got kidnapped, I was one of the first people he called because I had to run an event for him in Vegas at the time.
and take calls for him while he was dealing with his brother's negotiation of his kidnapping. And so I was one of the like maybe 2 or 3 people that knew about the situation within the first like 24 hours of it happening. And so there's a bunch of those really random scenarios that I got to be involved with that most people in the company wouldn't have had exposure to. And so we talked a bit about that in this podcast, and just had a lot of fun going back and forth, talked a lot about family, asked him some funny questions. And I think you get to see a bit of a side of Eddie that you normally don't get to see with some of the banter that we get to share. So I'm looking forward to you guys sitting back and watching this podcast when it releases. But I'm going to leave it right here because I don't want to ruin it for you guys. And I'll let you guys go and watch that on his podcast.
All right, so we just finished up shooting a podcast. Eddie and I got to interview him this time around, which was fun. So you guys will see that coming out really soon. We have now flipped the studio around, and we are about to shoot VSL for agency closers. So I'm going to dive into that right now, which will be fun. And then we'll go from there. All right, so just finished up shooting the VSL, and then we shot some ads. I'm not going to lie, guys. You marketers, I don't know how you do it. I don't shoot VSL content or scripted content ever. Even my sales process is a framework that I always talk about. And so sitting down and reading off of like a teleprompter, reading off a script was like such a learning curve for me, I'm not going to lie. And so we had to reshoot the VSL probably like 4 times just so that I could get the tonality right. And even then, I'm still not super happy with it. But you know what? It's the first time. So we're going to deal with it. But I think it turned out really good. You guys will eventually see that. But basically shot a entire VSL around agency closers, how it works, so that in the near future we can start running some ads, which is going to be a lot of fun. Right after that, I sat down with Victor and we scripted out some ads kind of off the rip. Again, such a learning curve shooting ads and getting tonality and hook and all these different things right. It's wild because like I've watched Eddie do this for so long, and like seeing him have no problems just like off the dome be able to just like rip out an ad one take all the time is crazy. And I kind of have a new respect for the entire process and marketing in general, creating content in general, because I'm not a content creator, even though I make a lot of content. I am a salesperson. And so this kind of gave me a whole new appreciation for the ability to be able to produce content like that, or when it comes to like scripted content. Not to mention like sitting down today with Eddie and writing out the VSL. It's marketing is not my skill set. It's funny because I've come from a marketing background, running my e-com brand, running my agency, and I've done so much marketing, but it's not like the thing that I've like invested all of my time and energy into. Sales is that thing. So it's been fun kind of like flexing that marketing muscle a little bit more recently. And Eddie obviously is a great person to work on that skill with and challenge my abilities more. Not to mention like the amazing team here at BAD who's kind of helped produce all the content this week and sit down and be patient with me as I fumble over my words. Victor, I appreciate you, brother. You're the best. But yeah, so it has been a pretty full day. It is now around like 5 p.m.-ish. We've been kind of going nonstop since this morning. And so I'm going to go and finish up some Slack and admin work and take a bit of a breather. And then I got one more client call coming up here before we head over to Eddie's place to watch the football game. So that's going to be the rest of the evening. So I'm going to go back and do that now. But my goodness, if I don't have to shoot another VSL ever again, I'll be happy. So why Eddie? Why is Eddie my business partner in agency closers? Now, for a lot of the obvious reasons, he's my business partner. But why from the very beginning did I get a job with somebody that I sacrificed my 2 businesses for to go all in and be an employee for over 3 years to eventually become business partners with him? Like, why take that 4-year gap out of growing your business? And ultimately, Eddie was one of those people that before I even met him, I just had this feeling that he was going to be a force in the industry. I liked how he carried himself. I liked how he communicated and represented his family through content he was making. And even the interview process of me meeting him for the very first time, I just had so much respect for what he is building. Now, something that I've never really talked about is the reason why I stayed at Bad Marketing for as long as I did. And to be truthful, like for the last 2 years, I've been running agency closers on the side, and he knew that. And I was making good money, and I should have gone full time on agency closers years and years ago, like over a year ago, but I didn't. And the main reason why is because I have so much love and respect for Eddie and for their team that it was so hard for me to want to walk away. Eddie's built the most unbelievable community here at Bad Marketing with the most world-class people that are all just genuinely amazing human beings that truly care. And it is really a family. When I first joined BAD, I think I was employee number 53, I think I was. And that went all the way up to over 200 employees. And that entire time, there's always been such a close connection with everybody within BAD Marketing. And that energy, that feeling is something that I just was super passionate about. So much so that I sacrificed my businesses and that I went all in with Eddie because I really believed in the vision of what BAD Marketing has become. And that all comes down to Eddie and who he is and how the leader he is, to be able to portray and sell this incredible vision that he had for everybody and for the company. And I was 100% bought into that. Now, why did I start Agency Closers in the first place? Because that was my passion. That is what I truly want for the life that I want to have for myself and for my family, right? Like, the 9-to-5 schedule is not what I want for my life. I want to be able to move and travel and make more money and work on my own time. And so Agency Closers was inevitable. That had to happen eventually, and I always knew that was going to be the next thing. And so I waited as long as humanly possible. And so I did leave BAD Marketing. I'm no longer an employee at BAD Marketing. But the reason I left, and it was one of those situations where we got to the point where I was making so much more money from Agency Closers, and it was growing so quickly that it started to take up so much more of my time. And so at that time, I communicated very clearly with Eddie the entire situation, and we kind of came to the agreement that I needed to plan to walk away. And so we spent about a 2 to 3 month period of me transitioning out of the company and going all in on Agency Closers. Now, about 3 months before that, though, I sat Eddie down and I basically pitched him on why he needed to join Agency Closers as a business partner. And that's what he did. So Eddie took a percentage of the company. And the purpose and why I've said all of this is that I really wanted Eddie to join the company for a couple main reasons. Obviously, one, because he's a marketing genius, and I want to have that in my corner when it comes to growing my company. Number two, in my opinion, he's one of the biggest names and authorities in the agency space, and of course, that's really good for business. But number three, he's just a genuine, amazing human being, and I'm so grateful for everything that he's allowed me to do within BAD Marketing, within Agency Closers, and he has been one of the biggest supporters from the very beginning of this company and my vision and my dreams, and like on a monthly basis would check in on me about like, hey, how's it going? Can I help you? What do you need for you to be successful? And he's saying this to me as like an employee at BAD Marketing. And I truly will forever be grateful for the support and the opportunity that Eddie's given me and trusted me with, putting me on stages, putting me in front of his most trusted communities. And that is something that I forever want to be able to pay him back for, because he's genuinely changed my life in so many ways. And so the third reason why I truly wanted him to become a business partner is because I think that I want to be able to reward him for the opportunities he's given me. And I know for a fact over a long period of time that I'll be able to do that through becoming a partnership. And so not only are we great friends and have a lot of fun together, I think that we also have a bit of a lethal partnership with his mind and his network and his everything that he does and operates within the agency space, within BAD Marketing. But also, I just want to make sure that I can help him win alongside me as long as humanly possible, regardless of what we do. So I want to give you guys some more insight on to kind of cap off this whole story of me transitioning out of BAD Marketing. And to be honest, I'm going to make a whole video going over exactly why, or not why, but like the entire process, what that looked like, the communication between me and Eddie and the team and all of those things. Because I think it's a wild story in itself. There was a time period where I was taking a full schedule of calls while running a business that was doing over 30, 50K a month, all working full time. Which was really, really fun. So I'm going to tell that story another time, but I wanted to kind of cap all of this off as far as like the story of why I joined and became partners with Eddie, I mean. Yeah, and I think this trip came at a perfect time, being able to come and just connect with him and hang out and see some people. Like one of the director of info at BAD Marketing right now, his name is Damien. He was him and his brother, one of my first clients in Agency Closers. And so being able to come here, shoot content with Eddie, strategize on everything, and also like get to hang out with Damien at the same time was a really, really fun experience for me. And so yeah, looking forward to what tomorrow holds. We've gotten so much done in the last 2 days that like if I left right now, I feel like we've been able to accomplish everything that I came here for, which is cool. And I got a whole day tomorrow before heading off to the next leg of my trip. So yeah, just such a fun time so far, and feeling blessed and excited about what's to come. So hopefully going to pull Eddie aside and have a bit more of a discussion about long-term plan for agency closers and some strategies and plays on how we can continue to grow this business. But for now, I'm going to go and get back to work. Yeah, of course. Well, maybe you need to get your the other one you were looking at. The Audi. All right, finished up the day at the office. Whew, that was a busy one. I'm not gonna lie. Got a lot done. Multiple calls, podcasts, VSL, a bunch of stuff all completed. Felt really productive day, which was awesome. But unfortunately, I have a bit of bad news. It's been unfortunate, but Eddie took the Urus, which is really unfortunate because I was having a lot of fun driving it. But instead, he gave me his hand-me-down daily, which is his M5 competition. So I got to slum it and take this M5 instead, which is, a bummer because, nobody wants to, drive a cheap car, So I'm going to hop in and I got to run back to the hotel, and then I'm going to go meet up with them to watch a football game. I am just going to throw this out there. Going off of what I said earlier, Eddie, I appreciate you so much, brother. Like, you have no idea. Number one, like the warm welcome that you always give me and everybody else who comes to visit the offices, it doesn't go unseen. Your hospitality has just been incredible, and just even the little things, man. I'm just like making sure I have something to drive while I'm here. I do appreciate it, brother, more than you know. And another reason why it's fun to be business partners with Eddie Maalouf. So we're gonna whip over to his house, spend some time with his amazing family, watch a football game, and then that'll be it for the most of the work. I'm gonna come back here tomorrow and get some basic office work done, admin stuff that I need to do, call reviews, and then I go on a road trip to Nashville. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna bring you guys along for that portion or not, or if that's gonna be a second video or not, but we'll see. So stay tuned. If there's like 20 more minutes left, it probably means I brought you with me, but... All right, so I figured it's only fair to give you guys watching a bit of a review, because in the last 2 days, I've driven 2 cars. All right, we've got the Urus, all right, Lamborghini Urus, and then we've had the M5 competition. Okay, drove them back both the same day today. So I got a review for you guys. All right, now listen, I don't have a lot of experience in fun cars. I'm not gonna lie, I don't. So this is a inexperienced opinion, but I think it's a good one. So Urus, ton of fun, like turns heads, you feel like a boss driving it. Okay, it's a good time. It's flashy, it's fast, you feel aggressive in it. The M5, it's comfortable, it's wicked fun to drive, it's crazy fast. And I'm not gonna lie, I think if I had to choose, I'm picking the M5 comp. I never thought I'd say that. M5 competition was so much fun to drive. You like punch it and it just wants to go faster and faster and faster. And you almost feel like the gas pedal's literally just going down on its own. It's like way too much fun. So not gonna lie, the M5 comp takes the cake. Now, if Eddie lets me drive his Huracan tomorrow, which I can't see happening, we'll see, but maybe I'll ask him so that we can have a fair comparison, thought it worth sharing. But all in all, just got back from Eddie's place. We watched Bills play Texas. I don't watch football, guys. I have no idea, but it was a fun game, and we ordered wings and hung out and had some friends over, and then we ordered junk food in the middle of the night to finish off a really, really great day. And then I just got dropped off at the hotel. So I'm going to crash because I got to get up at 6:30 in the morning to go to the gym with Eddie and have another really fun, productive day. So good night.
Well, that's all she wrote, guys. I really appreciate you watching this vlog. I had so much fun creating it, having a blast with Eddie and some boys out in Atlanta. This was a trip that I will never forget. I had way too much fun. It was supposed to be a productive work trip, and it just ended up being kind of a boys trip, which was needed, and I think for both Eddie and I, and just had an absolute blast. So if you guys are still watching this, thank you so much for tuning in this long. Please subscribe, leave a comment. I really appreciate it, and I see every single one of them, and I reply to every single one of them. If you guys are looking for sales training for your agencies, or you as an agency owner wanting to get better at sales, close more deals, close bigger deals, or if you guys are looking for top sales talent to place into your business, and you guys have an info business or an agency, check out the links down below. Reach out to your boy. We can help you out any way possible. But if you guys are still with me, thank you so much once again for watching. I appreciate you guys. Go collect some cash, and I'll catch you in the next one.